He can be the stopper tonight here at Uniqlo Field at Dodger Stadium, and also looking for his first career win over the rival Giants. It is game 2 of this 4-game series, Dodgers and Giants. Let's send it upstairs. Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser have the call. Joe, take it away.
All right, John, and a beautiful night for baseball from Uniqlo Field at Dodger Stadium. Game 2 between the Dodgers and the Giants. And we welcome you inside. Hope you're having a great week so far. Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser. The Dodgers suffered a third consecutive defeat last night. It was tight in the middle innings, but the Giants pulled away 9-3 the final.
Yeah, wherever you can find the motivation, if it's in the rivalry, if it's in a losing streak, you've got to find some more motivation and passion to get the job done tonight.
Maybe what will get him right is the guy they're going to face tonight. Adrian Hauser has had some good moments throughout his career. None of those have come against the Dodgers.
No, they haven't. They should have a lot of confidence coming in here, but make sure that leads to concentration. Now, when a guy has an ERA like that against a team in the Dodger blue uniform, he's going to try and trick you. Well, the league, off his off-speed stuff that he would trick you with, is hitting .333. It should be a good night for the offense.
Let's go down to the field. Here's Kirsten Watson.
Thanks, Joe. Well, talking to Max Muncy and even other guys in the clubhouse last night, they were saying that when they look at what this offense is doing right now, they said they're in a little bit of a funk, and they're not taking it lightly. They understand that they need to be doing. They're doing a lot of work in the cage. There's no panic at the moment, but there is a feeling and a sense of urgency. Max shared with me that these conversations are having about the approach and looking to get back on track. But they did feel really good about last night. They were able to put up 10 hits, getting into double digits, creating some traffic. But today it's going to be about getting the big hit. And they do believe it's going to come soon, guys.
And Kirsten, they'll try to pair with some good pitching. The World Series MVP Yoshinobu Yamamoto faces the Giants for the second time in the last month.
Yeah, he's had a couple starts in between, but you know what? This was probably the last time that he would say he was throwing the ball precisely and exactly where he wanted to throw it. Tonight, he hopes to recreate that. The last 2 starts have not been his best, but this is what he went with against those Giants. The fastball and the splitter were on. We always know those 2 pitches are really good. He throws them about 60% of the time. But right now, over the course of his career and over the course of this year, he got off to a fast start, a little bit slower right now, needs to turn it around tonight.
And right away, first inning's been an issue for Yamamoto that we'll dive into as he starts this ball game. The Dodgers and the Giants, the second in a 4-game set. We've got first pitch coming up on SportsNet LA.
Eddie?
Since the start of spring training, the Dodgers, they've really embraced the challenge of winning a third straight World Series title, and maybe this is just one of those cold stretches, Jerry, that all teams go through during a 162-game season. At the same time, do you think there's any kind of mental toll that comes with chasing a three-peat?
Absolutely. I think there's a couple different things. The long 2 seasons before this season. Start the season, Korea, World Series. Then start the season early in Japan, World Series. A couple guys go to the WBC. That takes its toll, but yes, the three-peat, I know I'm a Bulls fan, I mention Michael Jordan all the time. That three-peat, that 98, that was a grind for them. Yeah. They should have won. They found a way to win. This team will do the exact same thing. They're going to find a way to three-peat.
You know, it's easy to say they're taking a toll when they're going through struggles. They're always trying to look for things like that. These guys are mentally tough. They know the process. They know what it takes. They had the same thing last year, and they got it done.
It is such a long season. We're barely a quarter of the way through this 162-game marathon. Dodgers and Giants. Joe and Oral will have the call right after this.
Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr.'s new Western Bacon Chicken Sandwich with freshly hand-breaded all-white meat and just $5.99 for a limited time. And by your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Ice Cube, who has been everywhere during this championship run for the Dodgers. This is before the parade and the ceremony. In last year's championship, he brought up the 2nd trophy. Him and Dave Roberts have become friends. It's like the unofficial hype man of this Dodger back-to-back championship run, and he's got his own bobblehead tonight. He's going to come and visit with us in the booth in a little bit. Throughout the ceremonial first pitch, and on this Tuesday night, his Friday buddy Mike Epps surprises him catching the first pitch. And they were able to keep the surprise genuine right there from Ice Cube. So we're just about set for baseball. Here comes Yamamoto, ready to take it for the Dodgers. And we're talking about it off of the top. The first inning has been an issue for him. It was against San Francisco, and he faced them last month. Again against Houston last week. Ended up being a good game, but needed 28 pitches to go through the first. He said he felt like he was overthrowing early, and then he found what he said was the right kind of effort and cruised from there.
Yeah, I think it's his responsibility here in the top of the first to kind of calm those nerves and not overthrow. And then I think it lays on the offense a little bit to let him relax by they come in and score him some runs early. This is a guy who is, for 2 years now, has had a very low run support. And in doing that, you start to feel like you need to miss bats and be like so precise. And it can lead to some lack of control, which for him, he has raised the bar so high on how precise he can be, so that little extra effort, because he hasn't gotten run support, could throw him off a little bit.
Let's take a look at the Giants lineup that'll face off with tonight. It has Jung-Hoo Lee leading off, and then Luis Arraez hitting second. At second base, Casey Schmidt, the third baseman, bats third. Rafael Devers DHs after his big game yesterday. He's strung together a few big games lately. Elliot Ramos, 4 consecutive multi-hit games. Willie Adames coming to life as well. 21-year-old top prospect Bryce Eldridge at first base hitting 7th, with Harrison Bader in center field and Eric Haas doing the catching. The Dodgers have dropped 3 in a row and 13 of their last 22 games, so they start the day a half game back of the Padres in the division. These Giants have won 3 of their last 4, hoping that these last few days will prove to be a turning point in this season. They've won 3 of their last 4 overall. They've won 3 of 4 against the Dodgers head-to-head this year. Lee climbs in. Yamamoto winds and throws, and off we go with a fastball or a splitter that misses away. 1 ball and no strikes. This Giants team, one of the best at hitting the splitter, and so is the fastball that Yamamoto leaned on more than usual when he faced him in April. Giants went 0 for 6 against his fastball. It's a cutter right there, which he's throwing more than ever this year, Oral, but the league's hitting .400 against it.
Yeah, the cutter, when it is not moving correctly or doesn't hit the right spot, is like a bad fastball. So the league can catch up, but when you're on with it and you're using it well, it can be deadly, we know. Just think of all the pitchers that are throwing it now ever since Mariano Rivera and Kenley Jansen got it going.
Throws another one right there to Lee, misses inside for ball 2. So yeah, same deal in Houston last week. Gave up the 2 runs in the first inning, just 1 run after that. Did get a season high 8 strikeouts in that game. Strikeouts had, for the most part, been missing from him. This curveball is looped into right field for Kyle Tucker, and there's the first out of the night. After he leans on the 4-seam against San Francisco when he faced him the first time, first batter of the game, hasn't thrown a 4-seam yet. Finally got him some run support in Houston last week. 8 runs of support, almost doubled his season total. And got his first win in about a month. Luis Arraez stands in for the Giants, fresh off another 2-hit game, leading the club, hitting .311. Golfs the first one he sees down the line towards the pole, and foul. He was leaning it, trying to keep it fair, but it is foul, and strike 1.
First slider Yamamoto has thrown, and I'm glad it was a slider, not a cutter. The cutter would have been faster, and we'd have been able to keep it fair.
There's the first 4-seam that he throws, and it's 0-2. Threw that 40% of the time as a rookie, and he's followed the trend of the rest of baseball, down and down and down with that usage, below 30% these days. It's part of that just been him finding confidence in the rest of it.
Yeah, and I think the whole league knows that, you know what, some of the hitters are starting to catch up to that 4-seamer up, and you don't have a sticky stuff, so the spin rates are down on it slightly, and then I think the 2-seamer's coming back into vogue.
Look out, ball 1.
That's quite a 2-seamer right there.
Ooh. His has been really good. The league just 2 for 16 against it, and he ain't getting any hits against that one.
Well, if that was a 4-seamer or a cutter, it gets his front shoulder.
Gets a little snarl from Arraez, who waits on this 1-2 and fouls it back.
That's not the splitter he was looking to throw him after the one that's up and in. That splitter was firm and kind of lazy up. He's really trying to throw one that would be a little slower with a little more bite.
kicks and deals. Another 1-2. A fastball just misses away. Count evens up 2-2.
Just missed. I don't usually beg, but I was begging for this one up here.
Days of begging are done. The computers don't take it. Yamamoto to rise, misses away again. And it's 3-2. Giants have been the worst offensive team in baseball, but they're coming off their best back-to-back days of the season. 16 runs the last 2 games. 9 runs yesterday, the 9-3 win in the first game of this series. High drive, right center field. Pages drifting back on it, plenty of room, 2 out.
Fly out on a curveball, fly out on a four-seamer.
Third baseman number 10, Casey Schmidt.
2 away for Casey Schmidt, who starts at third base today, just his 3rd start at third this year, and you can understand why Tony Vitello went with that tonight. Matt Chapman, their usual third baseman, is 0 for 11 with 7 strikeouts against Yamamoto, and has been struggling no matter who he's faced lately. Well, a good time to give him the day off. There's a 4-seam fastball for a strike. Casey Schmidt, somebody who had to fight for his spot on this roster, has been their best hitter this year. Kept it going yesterday, reached base 4 times, scored 3 runs. Prior to this great start this year, biggest thing that he had done in a short time in the major leagues was hit grand slams back-to-back days here last year. One of those was against Yamamoto. On an 0-2, he swings and misses. Yamamoto finishes a 1-2-3 first, just what the doctor ordered right there. Here come the Dodgers, and it's about time this group gets going, isn't it? Ohtani leads off, and then Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. Kyle Tucker's in right field hitting cleanup. Will Smith 2 hits yesterday. Max Muncy is homered in back-to-back ball games with Pages, Teoscar Hernandez, and Ha-Seong Kim rounding things out for Dave Roberts against Adrian Hauser, who signed a 2-year contract with the Giants and through 7 starts 0-4 with an ERA north of 6. So can the Dodger offense get right against him? There would be no faster path to that than Shohei Ohtani figuring things out himself.
He is the driving force. He is way bigger than just a spark at the beginning.
0 for 5 yesterday. 2 for 3 against Adrian Hauser in his career. That includes a home run. Yeah, really all left-handers have had their way against Hauser this year, hitting .383. The 0-2 pitch. Misses away, a changeup. He saw a bunch of those last night. Dave Roberts said he feels like there's been some over-anxiousness lately from Ohtani, trying to swing his way out of it. Ground ball, base hit. Not what he's looking for in terms of the direction of that batted ball. Ground ball to the pull side, but he'll take the result, getting his first hit of this series.
One thing I do like about this, he stays stacked and he doesn't lose his balance. So as he extends and sticks his butt out, he's still got his weight down into his feet. So his eyes could register on the ball and get a little bit of the barrel on it.
Ohtani's on to start this ball game for the Dodgers. It brings up Mookie Betts. 1 for 5 in his first game off of the injured list yesterday. And he takes strike 1 from Hauser. Said he loved feeling that nervous energy again, playing in a big league game, but he said, I even felt nerves in the rehab game. And he said, some guys think those things are a waste of time, but I'm not wired to be able to do anything thinking it's a waste of time. Said anything he's ever done, he's been all in on, whether that's baseball or we know about the bowling or the pickleball in recent years. Even a rehab game, if he's going to do it, he's going to be all in on it. He told me the waste of time happens when you're not all in. He's ahead 2-1.
He's definitely a run toward success kind of guy. But those nerves are energy for him.
On a 2-1 from Hauser. Betts sends one in the air to center field for Bader. And the first out.
Yeah, the tailing action inside got him a little bit where you had to kind of nullify the bat speed just to get the head of the bat towards the ball.
Number 5, Freddie Freeman.
A 1-on-1 out for Freddie Freeman. 2 for 4 with a double yesterday. 316 in May.
Love the way Freddie's swinging the bat. He is the anchor of this lineup, other than like Max Muncy, the professional at bats, and a great early example on how to approach a pitcher.
One of the 5 left-handed hitters against Hauser today. Takes strike 1 and a sinker. He, like Ohtani, has taken Hauser deep before. We talked about it during the pregame show, but the Dodgers have faced Adrian Hauser here in LA 3 times and scored 17 runs in 11 innings against him. Freeman lines the ball into right field and a base hit. And so both lefties at the top of the order have collected singles in this first inning.
Where Shohei hits the ground ball, Freddie good enough balance and reach to get underneath this and hit a topspin line drive to right field. Really good balance, really good down and through the ball with the bat path.
Another one of those left-handed hitters comes up here. Kyle Tucker, who quietly started to climb out of his early season slump. Last 9 games hitting .300, more walks than strikeouts. Talking to Dave Roberts about how he's looked the last few days. He said he's loved the approach, but he's also liked how he's looked like he's been more stable in his base, more in his legs and his swing. Oh, 1 to him. Misses high. Count evens 1-1. Adrian Hauser coming off his best game, really his first really good game as a Giant against the Padres last Wednesday. Just 1 earned run over 6 innings. At the top of the zone with a sinker here, 1-2. And throughout his career, some really bad moments, but also some really good ones. Parts of 7 seasons with the Brewers and then bounce around the last few years. Got released 5 different times. But had a career year last year to earn the 2-year contract with the Giants. His 1-2 to Tucker is fought off foul.
He is really wearing out. They're trying to wear out the lefties in with that comeback sinker, and he's got the range on it right now. What I love about this at bat so far is the very first pitch to Tucker was borderline, and it didn't change his facial expressions or his body language. He's like, that's okay, that's a strike, I'm fine.
Now he gets hit. Well, it doesn't feel very good, but it's a gift on a 1-2 pitch. Dodgers have the bases loaded.
Well, they've been sinking the ball inside to the lefties and bringing it back, and so they were going to try and throw a little cutter in there, and he just pulled it right into Kyle's feet.
No, Dodgers had their chances in these situations last night, couldn't take full advantage, and on this young season they ranked 28th in the majors with the bases loaded, hitting just .200. Will Smith takes strike 1. 2 hits for Smith last night. The 0-1 pitch. Poke to right field. Lee goes back. He's still going and makes the catch. Jung-Hoo Lee takes extra bases away from Will Smith, but it's plenty deep enough to score Ohtani, and the Dodgers are on the board first.
They score 1, and Freddie Freeman stays in scoring position at second. He ran the bases correctly here. Easy to score from third, but Freddie went halfway as this ball was caught. Had to scamper back to second, but that is the right way to do it.
Smith drives in Ohtani. Dodgers 1, Giants nothing. First and second, 2 out, and Max Muncy at the plate. Well, the big game for Muncy yesterday. He's homered in back-to-back games. He leads the team with 11 this year. That places him third in the National League. Two. Yeah, the last 2 games for him. He had the home run on Sunday. Did it again last night.
I'll mention it again. I mentioned it last night. Nomar Garcia-Parra went up to him, a guy who almost hit 400 in the big leagues, one of the best hitters I've ever seen. Said, Max, stay right where you are. The results are going to come. This is the best I've seen you swing the bat in years.
This is one of the areas where Max talking to him today, and he said, you just got to stay steady because it's been frustrating with runners in scoring position. He's hitting just 194, and it seemed like a lot of the bad luck we're talking about, where there have been great plays made on hard hit balls, have fallen in these at-bats, where there's been a lot to be gained if the ball does fall. It makes it hurt that much more when it doesn't. Down 0-2. Hauser delivers. Muncy stays alive.
When you're locked in the way Max is, it doesn't even matter the count. He's just loading, looking for the baseball, and if it's a strike, he's ready to hit.
Freeman at second, Tucker at first. Another 0-2 pitch. There he is trying to run that sinker back against the lefty again. That's been his plan, but all 3 lefties that he's faced have reached base so far.
2 of the 3 lefties of those first 3 got to 1-2 counts, but still reached base.
That's what it is right here. Muncy fights it off to third. Schmidt will make the catch and end the inning, but the Dodgers take advantage of the traffic early on and lead it 1-0 after 1. Well, the Giants offense broke out in a big way last night. 12 hits, had a season-high 6 walks, and it was the heart of the order that led that charge. Rafael Devers and Elliot Ramos, who will be the first 2 batters up against Yamamoto here in the second. And it has been the most noteworthy thing, the most newsworthy thing for the Giants the last couple weeks. Rafael Devers coming to life. 2 for 3 with a home run yesterday. 364 so far in the month of May, and he's hit 3 home runs in his last 5 games. The Giants have any chance of climbing out of this early season hole they're in, he's going to have to be himself. Watch the curve for ball 1. Yeah, now a splitter a little bit low. 2-0. Tony Vitello was saying after the game last night that he's not sure that Devers is ever going to be the rah-rah quarterback kind of leader, but when he's playing like this with the joy, and Tony Vitello used the word mojo, we all feed off of that. We all fall in line. It's hard to have that mojo, that joy, when you're not hitting. Two to him. Very high. Ball 3. Vitello said by the end of the year, if he doesn't have some kind of sponsorship deal for something to do with his smile, then companies are missing out. He said he's just a big kid that loves playing baseball. Swings through a fastball. With the early struggles, there was a ton of that. Here's the payoff. Yamamoto extra measured through his delivery tonight. Seems slower.
A little bit. He's being a little bit more precise with his movements. He used 6 different pitch types in the first inning, and that's kind of crazy when you think about a guy with his arsenal. He could save a few things for later, but he wanted to have a good first inning, so he wasn't going to save any bullets.
Another payoff pitch. Devers pokes another fastball foul.
At the top of his leg kick tonight so far, there's a little hesitation there, and he's still moving, but it's moving to a precise spot.
Poetry in motion.
Gotten outs with fastball, curveball, and splitter so far.
Strikes him out with the fastball. He's stuck with it and got his second strikeout.
He pitched Devers pretty much like he's sitting on soft stuff. I'm going to lean on the fastball, and he does, and rings him up with it.
Yeah, and if Yamamoto and the Dodgers get 7 strikeouts in this game, everybody gets that free Jumbo Jack with the purchase of a large drink tomorrow at LA area Jack in the Box restaurants. He's retired the first 4 Giants as he tries to beat San Francisco for the first time in his career. His first one to Elliot Ramos is very high. 6 starts against the Giants. He's gotten a total of 17 runs of support. And so that's how you can be Yamamoto and not have a win against the Giants. Breaks the bat of Ramos. Easy one at third. Muncy. 2 up, 2 down. They faced the Giants in April in San Francisco. It was another one of those situations with the first inning bid. I mean, he gave up 3 runs in the first. Hardly any traffic after that and was able to go 7 full. But only 1 run of support. Lost that game 3-1. Willy Adames. Two hits, 3 runs knocked in the first game for Adames, who went into Sunday's finale against the Pirates with 6 RBIs total this year. He's got 5 the last 2 games. Oh, 0-2. He had one of the big hits for the Giants yesterday with 2 strikes, a pitch that Will Klein would like to have back.
We had a few 2-strike breaking balls that hung last night from multiple pitchers. That's why the bullpen kind of had a rough night.
A game that was tied at 3 after 6 innings, but the Giants bullpen, while they put up 0s, the Dodgers gave up 6. 0-2 pitch. 23 allowed by the Dodger pitching staff during this 3-game losing streak. Yamamoto's 1-2. Adames, a half-hearted swing, flips a lazy fly ball into center field for Andy Pages, and Yamamoto's retired the first 6.
Don't miss Play Ball Weekend coming up June 5th through the 7th. Visit playball.org to register for your free event near you today.
Bottom of the Dodge order coming up here in the 2nd inning, leading 1-0 against Adrian Hauser and the Giants. Andy Pages leads off after a increasingly rare 0 for last night. Grounded out all 4 times and is looking for his first hit against the Giants this year. Bottom of the zone, Pages will challenge it.
Batter's challenging the strike ball.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. And he was right.
Ball's overturned, pitches a ball. Los Angeles has 2 challenges remaining.
I am amazed at how the naked eye can see that closely and get it right, even 50-50. It's amazing.
Do you think you would have been more aggressive than your average pitcher challenging?
I would have probably trusted my catchers, especially Mike Scioscia, Rick Dempsey when we won it. Tony Pena would have probably been really good at this. Sandy Alomar. You want the catcher that that has a lot of reps to be back there helping you, not the backup catcher that maybe only catches once a week.
That for Pages, by the way, was his first successful one. He was 0 for 4 prior to that.
Starting to get on a roll. ABS roll.
From 3-0 to 3-2, Hauser delivers. Pages strikes out swinging. Hauser has the lowest strikeout rate in the National League, and he's got his first one of the night against Pages. Well, Teoscar Hernandez, who had a good first night to this series. First pitch of the ball game, made an excellent defensive play and was on base 3 times. He had his first extra base hit in a few weeks. Also took a walk.
Dave Roberts moved him down in the order. Maybe gave him a little inspiration, but could be a coincidence also. This guy plays with a lot of energy usually, but he has been in a funk and kind of lost. Maybe found himself last night.
Tries to check his swing and does so successfully. It's 1-1, and was on the field with Ohtani, that same group, during batting practice yesterday, getting some extra swings in, trying to figure things out. And Dave Roberts is saying mechanics, of course, everybody's always talking about mechanics, but for him it's been more about approach with Hernandez. Big drop in how aggressive he's been this year. So he's been behind in the count a lot. Dave said patience is good, but not always. And he feels like that a lot of times Teoscar's been patient, not in the right spot though. Finds himself down 0-2, and then that leads to him chasing, trying to get back in. 2-2 this time. He's worked it full.
Any stat can fit your story. I'm going to pick a positive one. When the Dodgers have scored first this year in the first inning, they're 9-2.
Strike 3 called, 2 out. They have not scored first. Certainly not scored in the first inning very often lately. It's only the second time in the last 13 games that they've had a first inning run.
Number 6,
Well, something to look for from Kim tonight. He was working against a velocity machine today on a short two-handed finish, telling himself stick it. And in talking with Kim and talking with the hitting coaches, they said in a game, chances are it's not going to be a two-handed finish. Think Chase Utley. It's just the act of doing it in practice and the intent of thinking stick it. They're hoping it helps his natural swing, which has been out of whack lately. Kind of flailing at it. So they said think of it like a golfer who goes up and just does a whole round at the range with a half swing and then slowly makes it bigger, and you take what you learned from that stick it thought and apply it to your natural swing. As it often happens when you're going through it, he finds himself down 0-2 and now takes a breaking ball in the dirt, and it's 1-2. Kim's 0 for 8 on this homestand, 5 strikeouts. Vote of confidence though, with Freeland getting sent down to AAA, Kim remaining. Lays off and the count evens 2-2. Ha-Seong Kim watches ball 3. Dodgers up 1-0. Ohtani scored that run. Kim on 3-2, slaps one down the left field line, foul. Another payoff from Hauser. Strikes out the side here. Guy with the lowest strikeout rate in the league. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. Yamamoto comes home with his first pitch of the third. It's a breaking ball that misses on the 6'7" Bryce Eldridge. Only guy that's taller than Aaron Judge in the major leagues right here. Top prospect, just called back up, made his debut late last season. Top positional prospect the Giants have had since Buster Posey came up for his debut now 16 years ago. Fastball speeds in there for a strike, 1-2. It's a first-round draft pick just 3 years ago out of high school in Virginia. Struggled in his short time in the majors last year. Went just 3 for 28. Was tearing it up in AAA, and the Giants looking for a spark. Swings and misses down on a splitter. A lot of power, a lot of walks, but also a lot of strikeouts in his pro baseball track record.
5 out of the 7 outs for Yamamoto, and a few Ks are on the fastball splitter combo, so he is on his game.
He's retired the first 7. He's already got 3 Ks, and that's halfway to Jumbo Jacks. Harrison Bader with 1 away in the 3rd. Swings and misses at a first pitch cutter. Bader returned from the injured list yesterday. Went 1 for 5 with a double. Stabilizing center field form. Really good defensively. We saw that great play that Jung-Hoo Lee made earlier tonight. Lee was supposed to be the center fielder when he signed that big contract. Wasn't as good in center as they had hoped for, but he's been awesome in right, and Bader's the guy that's allowed him to move there. Brought him in on a 2-year contract after they had the worst outfield defense in baseball last year. So Yamamoto ahead again. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Bader. Here he comes. Got him with a high fastball. Back-to-back Ks, 8 up and 8 down.
Keep it going. Looks really good. Got by the first inning. Got 1 run for run support. And is hitting his spots right now and changing speeds.
We talked about how it's not been quite as good the last few starts. Dave Roberts said, yeah, it's been good, but just like we all do expect more from him, he feels the same way himself. And Dave said he expected an extra motivated version of Yamamoto tonight. Journeyman catcher Eric Haas taken a little bit high. 4 for 14, 2 doubles so far this year for the 33-year-old in his 9th year. Ball and a strike. Haas launches one to left center field. Pages will turn and watch this fly. After Yamamoto retires the first 8, it's the 9-hitter, the backup catcher, that takes Yamamoto deep.
You mentioned how earlier how he's throwing the cutter more and more. That was a cutter that didn't cut, and he got to it. See how that's just straight and almost backs up for him. And that's bad cutters are like bad fastballs.
So Haas now 5 out of 15 in a Giants uniform, 2 doubles and a home run. But a challenge coming here from Lee. Powered by T-Mobile. ABS powered by T-Mobile, and it was a ball.
San Francisco has 2 challenges remaining.
That's the first home run, by the way, for Eric Haas since May 7th of last year. Played just 30 games last year in the major leagues with the Brewers. But you can play for a long time as a backup catcher who's a good guy and handles the staff, and he has that reputation of being somebody that you can trust when you put him in there every few days. With his 4th different team, first year with the Giants. Lee goes up the middle to a waiting Mookie Betts. Giants tie the game and a home run from Haas. And on Ice Cube bobblehead giveaway night, guess who's joining us in the booth? Real thing with us, not just the bobblehead, but the guy.
Yeah. Very cool.
What's up, Ice Cube?
Man, what's happening with you?
How you doing?
Man, I'm pretty fair for a square. How you doing?
Is this your first bobblehead ever?
No, it's my second one. Actually, my third one.
Your third?
Yeah, I got one last year with the Dodgers.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I was on tour. I couldn't be here. The White Sox did one for me because I made the White Sox hat famous back in the 90s.
Yep.
And this is my third one.
All right. Awesome.
Pretty cool.
So you're an LA guy, born and raised here, diehard Dodger fan for a long time. What has this been like this last couple of years, becoming like the de facto hype man for the championship team?
I mean, this is one of the craziest things that ever happened to me. You know, I love the Dodgers. I love being a fan. You know, I like to just fan out. I don't bug the skipper or nobody. You know, I just fan out. And then to be asked to be a part of it against the Yankees, it was like, you know, next level. And I just been on cloud nine, you know, ever since for 2 years straight.
Fantastic. Where did this Dodger love affair start?
I mean, it started with the, you know, with the old school Dodgers, you know.
The Garvey, Say, Lopes, Russell.
Garvey, Dusty Baker, you know, Ron Say, you know, man, it's been great to just be a fan of the Dodgers, to see them, you know, battle in the 70s against the Yankees in the 80s. I seen you on the mound, you know, doing your thing, rooting and cheering. And been a Dodger fan ever since I can remember.
Fantastic.
Game 1 of the '88 World Series. Tell me about that night for you.
Oh, man, that night, we was broke as a joke. When I say we, it's me.
There's the drive off of the bat of Ohtani, headed for the wall in the seats.
There we go.
All we had to do was bring Ice Cube into the booth, and Ohtani figures it out. It's that simple. Huh?
Amazing. You couldn't have scripted it better.
We're going to go live here and stay that way, but when we do the replay, you can break it down.
Okay,
you break down the pitch and the swing.
No problem.
There you go.
Well, he lined that up, sent it right down the middle of the plate, right where he loves it, and he smacks this thing all the way, goes yard. The man. How great is it to be a Dodger fan right now?
I thought you were going to wrap that, but that was pretty good.
I need some of my beats to really bust a good rhyme, but
that was awesome.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That bet's down the line, foul.
It's good to have Mookie back.
Yeah, you're right though about Ohtani. Isn't it amazing? I talk to people about watching him every day and how I'm constantly reminding myself that it's like we're watching those big, thick history books.
Yes.
Watching it get written on a nightly basis here.
Without a doubt. I mean, you know, sitting through, and I've been here with Magic and Kobe and Shaq, and here we go with another superstar, you know, in the LA uniform. It's just next level.
88 though, you're broke.
Game broke as a joke.
Tell me, broke as a joke.
We're watching the game. Okay. Me, Dr. Dre, a couple other people. It's not looking good. And then you have, you know, my guy Kirk Gibson go up to the plate, slap it over the fence. We all take off running in the street yelling, "They won! They won!" You know, so it was crazy. And then to see Freddie Freeman basically do the same thing, you know, for game 1 of that 24 series. Was it 24? I mean, I'm getting lost. Yeah, 24.
Good. You were less broke as a joke when he hit his.
Less broke as a joke when he hit his, for sure. But an amazing night. And like I said, I've been on cloud 9 ever since.
Hey, how about the first pitch tonight? You look genuinely surprised at who your catcher was.
Yeah, man, you know, this dude Mike Epps, man, he's my guy. You know, he snuck in there, throwing that catcher's outfit, and you know, he caught it out the dirt, which is cool. I didn't think he was going to catch it. You know, I thought it was going to roll to the wall and he was going to embarrass me. But, yeah, man, that guy's a great dude. Mike Epps, been working with him ever since we did Next Friday. We're going to do another Friday movie again, and it's great working with him.
Freddie Freeman takes the walk.
Was that an exclusive announcement?
No,
out there.
No, it's out there.
Okay.
What's exclusive is we're gonna do a Every Day's Friday show out here at the Long Beach Amphitheater, new Long Beach Amphitheater, July 17th. It's gonna be fun.
Man, so you're still all over the place, still performing, still doing. How do you find time to do all this?
I love it. You know, it's I started rapping when I was 14 years old, just for fun.
Yeah.
Didn't think I was gonna make a quarter, and here we are, man. 41 years later, and you know, it's still just as fun as it was when I was 14.
When you started, like in broadcasting, I don't like my own voice. When I hear my voice, I'm like, oh, I don't like it. Did you like your own voice, and do you still like it now?
It took me time. You know, it's once the fans start to say, man, you know, you got a great voice, and when they start buying the records, you got to realize, okay, the voice might be all right.
Yeah.
When you go platinum, you know, you might like, okay, this voice might be okay.
I like it. I like it.
So you said you were 14 when you first started doing it, messing around. When did you know that it could be a thing? And when did you know you loved it?
Not till about 18, 19, when we realized that NWA was not going to just be an underground group, but the mainstream took us on, and we started to rise and grow, and you know, found ourselves doing things we never imagined, and that's when I knew, okay, this could be a career if we do it right.
What's your secret?
My secret is being a fan, looking at it from a fan's point of view, and always trying to deliver and make sure I give people their money worth and their time worth.
Fly ball to left field off of the bat of Will Smith. Gonna wrap up this third. Hey, thanks for joining us, even if you didn't bring a Shohei homer. But man, you got the guy back.
Anytime, anytime.
When we're off camera, I'm gonna have you sign this.
I got you. No problem.
Thanks, Ice Cube.
Anytime.
Join us for Dave Roberts Bobblehead Night on May 25th, presented by Toyo Tires. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions to learn more.
Cool. I don't know if it's quite as cool as tonight's. We'll have to see if we can get him up here in the third inning on his bobblehead night. I don't know if that works that way, but
we have to get him tossed in like the first or second inning.
There we go. So the Dodgers and Ice Cube have a 2-1 lead. Let's get Cube in the booth. Daka, is that a?
You got a cookie?
No, I think it's one of those honey wafer, energy wafer things.
Okay.
Waffle.
So
Luis Ariz leading off this fourth. It's up on top of it, grounds it down to Freddie Freeman. Sorry I cut you off.
No, it's okay. It's a healthy cookie. Not even close. No.
They're made for like endurance athletes.
Okay.
Just basically straight sugar to the blood.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's what it is.
For me, I do the Cliff Bar.
Same idea.
Same idea.
Yeah. But you're fueling really intense aerobic exercise.
Oh, of course. Yeah, getting up and down from the couch.
Casey Schmidt takes inside for a ball. The Yamamoto's retired 9 of the first 10. Solo shot from an unlikely character on the 9-hitter Eric Haas. Only base runner against Yamamoto. Schmidt, who he struck out the first time, fights this ball off, shallow right field. There's Kim, 2 up and 2 down in the fourth. And now Devers. Who Yamamoto continued to challenge with fastballs the first time he faced him. Long at bat, went to 3-2, fastball after fastball after fastball that he fouled off, but then took one for strike 3. Yeah, that's what he starts him with here. Sinker version of it. Yeah, now a splitter that's grounded through. Ball had eyes, and a 2-out hit for Devers.
In some ways, when a guy is swinging the bat like he is, you give him this. Glad I got the weak contact. He's glad it found its way through. I'm glad it's in the ballpark, and I'm still feeling pretty good about myself.
Inning kept alive for Elliot Ramos. Fouls off Yamamoto's first pitch. Ramos, one-time top prospect who got to the major leagues and struggled so badly that he went from top prospect to the guy that they look at as a bust. And it took a bunch of injuries just to get him back into the major leagues for another chance. Took advantage of the second chance, though, as an all-star 2 years ago. He's put together back-to-back 20 home run campaigns. Swings and misses. He's down 0-2 here. He's got another solid season going. He checks in at 278 and has had 4 straight 2-hit ball games. Devers off first. 0-2 coming home. Ramos swings and misses. Another splitter falls off of the table. Yamamoto's got 5 Ks and just a run allowed through 4 innings. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's new Smash Jack Sliders Munchie Meal with a chance to win the $75,000 prize for Jack's 75th anniversary. Strike one on Max Muncy. Popped out his first time. As good as the bat has been, the defense has been spectacular at third. I was talking with him about that before the game today, and he said he feels like all the stuff that he's worked on defensively the last few years, it's all kind of come together and clicked. All the stuff he's learned, because we talked about him going away in the offseason, working on mobility and focusing on his defense. And then he said last year he felt like he was getting there, but then he got hurt. And he said fielding is a little bit like hitting, where you got to get the consistent reps to develop a rhythm for it. You miss that much time. Said it was hard to feel great. But he's at a point right now, and we got a challenge coming here. Where he says he wants, no matter the situation, he wants every ball hit to him. He's having so much fun playing third. And that was high. Powered by T-Mobile.
San Francisco has 1 challenge remaining.
1-2.
Well, there's nothing better than feeling good about yourself and just continuously getting reps, and it does lead to that confidence. Like, I can catch anything. Please hit it over here.
High fly ball. Lee came on at first, now goes back, keeps on carrying. Yeah, that thing was up there a mile. And he's squinting, he's saying, oh, I just missed it.
I mean, you're talking an 1/8 of an inch, probably, maybe even less than that, a 1/16 of an inch, and that's a home run.
Number 44.
Instead, it's the first out of this 4th inning, and now the bottom part of the order where Adrian Hauser went through it with 3 straight strikeouts when he faced him in the 2nd inning. Hauser's had 3 or fewer strikeouts in 6 of his 7 starts this year, and then he had 3 in that inning alone in the 2nd. 33-year-old from Locust Grove, Oklahoma. Bouncing ball to short. Adames will throw Pages out. Locust Grove, town of 1,500 people near the Ozark Mountains. He's put together a pretty darn good career for a kid from a small town. 7 seasons in Milwaukee, and then bouncing around the last few years, earning that big contract relative to what he had earned throughout the rest of his career. Adjusted his delivery going into last season. He said trying to get his lower half more engaged. Changed his diet. Upstairs with his first pitch to Teoscar Hernandez. First thing he did going into the 24 offseason, 24 into 25, was a 72-hour fast to kickstart just a complete overhaul of his system.
The farther you go with the fast, the more your body repairs itself.
Autophagy.
Exactly.
Under the ball hit way in the air. And Bryce Eldridge over to put it away, and in the fourth. World Champion Dodger Baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. On this date in 1883 is the first game in Dodger franchise history. They were the Brooklyn Grays at that point. Real exciting name. Grays is the color of their uniforms. Willie Adames chops Yamamoto's first pitch foul. That was Washington Park, where they played their games for the first 30 years or so that they were a franchise. Built on the site of one of Washington's famous battles in the Revolutionary War. It's Washington Park. One of the first employees of the organization in that 1883 first iteration of the franchise was a ticket hawker named Charlie. Charles Ebbets grew up to become the team president. And he for years had this vision of this beautiful stadium getting built in Brooklyn to replace Washington Park. He just had to find the place for it and then get the power to build it. He became team president 15 years after he got that first gig as the ticket hawker. 1-2 on Adames. And he would take walks through Brooklyn surveying potential spots for it. He found this area that he thought would be the right spot, but it was 40 different plots of land that he had to buy up individually, quietly, so people didn't know that it was him with that purpose, because that'd drive the price way up. But over the course of a few years, he individually bought all 40 of these lots, 4 acres total, just enough room to build Ebbets Field.
Wow. That's quite a career path.
Yeah, right? Ticket hawker to buying up 40 parcels of land and getting a major league stadium named after you. 2-1, top of the fifth. 1-2 to Adames again, and a high fastball gets him swinging.
Well, the fastball has been a great weapon for him, especially against the Giants. In his first start against them, they were 0 for 6 with 3 Ks against the fastball. Tonight, now 0 for 6 with 3 Ks also.
One away, Bryce Eldridge struck out his first time, and he has seen a kind of pitch that he's probably never seen, that major league splitter Yoshinobu Yamamoto's. Eldridge now 2 for 15 this season. Hit his first home run on Saturday. And a home run fitting for a top prospect like him, big guy like him. Bounced down into the cove. Eldridge, besides being just a really good hitter, a couple of the things that he does particularly well are exactly what the Giants are in need of: power and patience. Taps this one left side. Muncy charges, flips it over to first and gets him. 2 up and 2 down in the fifth.
He's got the stature of a Brandon Belt back in the day. But Brandon didn't hit for a lot of power. He did by surprise, but this guy's got more natural power, and that's his swing.
He got to meet Aaron Judge during spring training and size him up a little bit. Like I said, he's the only guy that's taller than Judge. Aaron's advice for him was keep it simple. Guys our size, we just got to touch it. So don't feel like you got to have this big swing because we're too long to be able to harness that. Just try and touch it.
Did he steal that advice from Cody Bellinger?
Well, we've heard Bellinger talk about that, and those guys are teammates now. Harrison Bader, strikeout victim his first time. Now the 1-1 pitch. Got a chase from a very aggressive hitter right here in Bader.
You know he's in swing mode from the last 2 approaches. So now you make it look like a strike, end up a ball, and you should be able to put him away.
Bader turns on it, hits it deep to the left field corner, and gone. A pair of solo home runs for the Giants from their 8-hitter and their 9-hitter. And it's tied again.
We saw this same mistake last night against the Giants with Klein, with Sasaki, and tonight now with Yamamoto. Aggressive hitters that you have them set up for something where you make it look like a strike, end up a ball, but this one looks like a strike and stays a strike and is up and is flat. Those are mistakes that we're not used to that young man making.
7th home run allowed by Yamamoto this year. That's halfway to last year's total. In about a third of the innings. And there's another blast. Eric Haas has done it again. Wow, incredible. This power-starved lineup getting 3 home runs from the bottom 2 spots in the order.
So far this year, when the home runs have come, it's more the left-handers against Yamamoto. 4 home runs in 82 at-bats this year. That was 4 home runs last year total in 305 at-bats. But tonight, 2 right-handers pick on him.
And they can't believe it even in the Giants dugout. Back to the top and lead. Man, you got to feel like you're cruising along, and you give up the home run to Haas, okay, but he's retired at that point. 7 of the next 8. Then bang, strike away from getting out of the inning with a 2-1 lead.
It just really continues to prove the point that this game on this field at this level, the difference between good and great, the difference between good and bad, it's really thin margins. Really thin margins on what they're working on. From a 9-hitter and an 8-hitter on a team that is struggling for power, struggling for runs against a World Series MVP, a guy who's probably this year still going to be a Cy Young candidate on the mound. But it's edges.
Two balls and 2 strikes on Lee. Full count. Turns and throws the payoff pitch. Lee watches strike 3, dive back in there with a sinker. Yamamoto has his 7th K, but a frustrating night going here. 3 home runs from the bottom of the order.
Celebrate Mexican Heritage Night Tuesday, May 26th, presented by Hornitos. Purchase special ticket pack today and receive an exclusive Mexican Heritage Night jersey. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
9-1-2 for the Dodgers here, trailing for the first time in this ball game. Back-to-back home runs from Harrison Bader and Eric Haas. And now Kim, Ohtani, and Betts coming up against Adrian Hauser. Kim cracks his bat on a bouncer to Adames. Ready to close play with his speed, but throws in time. 1 gone in the 5th. Back to the top in Ohtani, who was 0 for 5 yesterday, but is 2 for 2 tonight. A single with a run scored in the 1st and a home run in the 3rd. Home run was his first since April 26th. Just his 2nd over his last 26 games. And it wasn't just a home run, but it was shot to left center field. And that's when you tend to know that he's starting to figure it out. It drives the ball in that direction. He's pulled the ball way more this year, and he's pulled it on the ground way more. In fact, he has one of the highest ground ball pull rates in baseball. Ahead here, 3-0. We were talking about how Dave Roberts said he sensed that he was over anxious and was trying to swing his way out of it. Dave said, I like the idea. It's just hitters like him, that's not the path out, because pitchers still aren't giving in. They're still not giving you good stuff to hit.
Catcher's challenging the ball call.
The challenge right here, as tough as it is, Dave was saying, you got to still let it come to you. You got to still be patient. Yeah, and this ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile is a good one from Haas. 3 balls, 1 strike.
It may be a good one.
Yeah,
they might rather have him over there standing at first base.
And now it's a walk. All right, so he's got his first home run in a few weeks. And then to Dave Roberts' point about don't swing your way out of it, still be patient. That's his first walk in 5 games. So a bunch of good signs tonight.
And we talked about him being more than a spark at the top of the lineup, that he can carry this team. Well, he's 2 for 2, home run and a walk, right? The rest of the team is 1 for 13 with 2 walks.
A lone hit coming from Freddie Freeman. So tying on a board, Betts at the plate, and he takes downstairs for ball 1. Doc was saying that Ohtani is going to have Thursday off, which is the day after his start. TBD whether he hits or not on his start day tomorrow. But Thursday potentially could end up being his first true day off, full day off of the year. Although Doc did say he would be available late in the game. He's hoping that he uses that day to maybe show up a little bit late, take your time going through whatever it is you feel like you have to. But he's learned in his couple years with Ohtani, he's got to take it into his own hands, be proactive to make sure Ohtani gets rest, because he's not going to stop working. Betts to third. Backhand pick by Casey Schmidt to start a 5-4-3 double play. A nice pick by Eldridge on the back end of it. Well, Yamamoto has 7 strikeouts in this game, so everybody gets that free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink. LA area Jack in the Box restaurants. The Giants on 3 solo home runs have a 3-2 lead. And if you're saying that's surprising, Giants have 3 solo home runs. What makes it even more surprising is who's hit them. 1 from Harrison Bader, the 8-hitter. 2 from Eric Haas, the backup catcher, who's starting just his 5th game. 2, 3, and 4 for the Giants here in the 6th with Luis Arraez 0 for 2 today, leading off.
You want some more rarity? That's only the 5th time in the live ball era that the Giants have gotten 3 home runs from their 8 and 9 hitters.
It's a long time.
Thank you, Dr. Krajewski, for that one.
1920 considered the start of the live ball era. Babe Ruth decided to be cool to start hitting home runs, and everybody else followed. Grounded to second. Kim hustles over there to get in front of it. 1 slick second baseman retires another. And now a word from Jack in the Box.
Get my new Smash Jack Sliders Munchie Meal for a chance to win $75,000. Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Third baseman Casey Schmidt.
Dodgers trying to end this 3-game losing streak. Giants gaining steam, winning 3 of their last 4 games, winning 3 of the 4 against the Dodgers to this point. Casey Schmidt is 0 for 2. Dodgers have scored a total of 9 runs in the 5 games against San Francisco. Adrian Hauser comes in with an ERA above 6, has held him to just the 2 runs tonight. That's been a bit of a trend where guys that come in with less than pretty numbers have their way with the Dodgers.
I mean, you can look at that a lot of different ways. You can look at it, is there not the same amount of concentration because it might be an easy night and they think it could be. It might be that the guy is actually on his game and the rhythm of baseball is they come in bad, but they finally find it against the club.
Schmidt flexes this ball into right field. Tucker is there. 2 up and 2 down in the 6th.
Sometimes against a guy who doesn't have as good a stuff, you try to do too much, so you actually come out of your game by trying to hit it too hard, too far, too often. Don't make sure you get a pitch like Ohtani did. Took care of it and took his walk. But when he got his pitch, he planted it out there in the left field pavilion.
2 outs for Devers. Base is empty. Yamamoto trying to finish the job this time. Retired the first 2 pretty easily last inning before the back-to-back home runs. Once again, it's Yamamoto who finds himself on the wrong side of that lack of run support. It's his fastball by him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, 1-2.
Yamamoto 12th lowest in the National League among qualifiers as far as run support.
That's after getting 8 last time.
Exactly.
Fastball gets Devers to finish off a 1-2-3-6. So 8 Ks for Yamamoto. Let's see if that offense can wake up to help him out. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times. Dodgers 2 runs on 3 hits in this ball game. Down 3-2 to the bottom of the 6th. Freddie Freeman, who has one of those 3 hits, in addition to a walk, takes ball 1 from Adrian Hauser. Freeman, Tucker, and Smith coming up here. Two and 1.
Time to support their World Series MVP. Yama not only spit the hook, but get a W. Still studying to go back out there for the 7th.
Full count. Those 3 home runs that he's given up, most in his career. Freddie Freeman starts the inning, bounces one softly to short for Willie Adames, and the first out of the 6th. Matt Gage, who pitched yesterday and has pitched a lot for the Giants so far this year, getting ready to go again.
Right fielder, Kyle Tucker.
Up comes Kyle Tucker. Hit by a 1-2 pitch his first time, and then a strikeout. First strikeout he's had in a few games. A little bit high for ball 1. You know, projecting how a season's going to go, you know that you're going to have slumps. Even your best guys are going to have multiple slumps. It's just there's randomness when those slumps happen. And out of the gates this year, a lot of the biggest hitters who, again, are always going to have slumps throughout the year, it's come together. And that's when you get stretches like this. Can't predict when those slumps are going to land. You just know that they're coming at some point for everybody.
It was an oddity last night because they got 10 hits. And they just couldn't push them across the plate. A lot of times through these slumps, the traffic has come with 2 outs. So today here with 1 out, you get a runner on. 2 out of the 6 innings so far tonight, they've gotten their leadoff hitter on. Well, Ohtani drove himself in, but he was there near the top. Let's see. No, first inning they got the leadoff guy on. Second inning they didn't. Third inning he hits the home run. Yep, and that's been it.
And looks like visit right here for Hauser, and the bullpen continues to get loose as Will Smith gets ready to bat. I was talking with Max Muncy about just everything today and how the team has struggled, and he said these stretches are tough, but where they really become a problem is when panic sets in. And he said that's one of the ways that this being a quote-unquote old team is a good thing, where there's not as much panic. You got these veteran players that have gone through this before and come out on the other side not just to be okay, but to win a championship. A lot of these guys went through this last year for the better part of the second half. Proved to themselves they can not just come out of it, but come out of it and win. And he said the handful of young guys, if they do go through stretches where they have a little bit of panic, you just pull them aside, remind them that we believe in you, we know you're going to be fine, and don't panic. Pop up. Arise. Bader charges, and Arise still takes it.
Panic manifests itself in a lot of different ways. Get you chasing if you're an offensive hitter. Get you swinging too hard. Get you trying to hit a 3-run homer with nobody on base.
Hard to do.
Yep.
That's going to do it for Hauser. They're going to bring the lefty Gage on for Max Muncy. And so Adrian Hauser came into the game with an ERA above 6. He's looking for his first win in a Giants uniform. And against a Dodger team that has tormented him throughout his career, 5 2/3. Just the 2 runs. Bullpen takes over here in the 6th. Well, a separator in last night's game after it was tied at 3 through 6 was the bullpen. Giants spent 3 2/3, just 1 hit, no runs. Yeah, and one of the guys who was a big part of that, Matt Gage, went 1 2/3, did not give up a base runner through 21 pitches. This is going to be his 4th outing in 5 days, and again, coming off of those 21 pitches, 4th outing in 5 days. National League high 21st appearance this year.
Did not face Muncy last night.
Tucker's at first, the tying run. Muncy at the plate here. Yeah, he fouls off the first pitch. Part of Muncy's great season has been hitting left-handers at a solid clip, hitting 300 against lefties. Better than he is against righties.
Gage's average against lefties is .095, so we got quite the battle here.
Out on 0-1, Muncy takes just down and away. Count evens up. Yeah. 1 challenge left for the Giants as we sit here in the 6th inning in a 3-2 game. 1-1 pitch. Ball 2.
Max gave you the quote about the older team and no panic. If he doesn't get a strike here, that would show no panic. Just pass the baton.
Down to first, foul ball.
It's interesting because that is in front of first base, and that is the home plate umpire's call, not the base umpire's call. Home plate umpire was late getting out there and was blocked. Dodgers glad the first base umpire took over.
2-2. Count is full, and so the tying run will get a head start from first.
Here's your living, breathing example about veteran team and one of the guys with the best eyes in the major leagues at the plate.
3-2 on Muncy. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 6 innings in the books. The Giants 3, the Dodgers 2.
It's on May 14th. Purchase a special ticket pack and receive an exclusive Grow Grogu bobblehead. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
I think you nailed it that time.
It's not Grogu, it's Grogu.
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 It's not a form of pasta. Strike on Elliot Ramos. Top of the 7th, 3-2 Giants. And it's not been the usual suspects for the Giants in this game. Bader and Haas combining for 3 solo home runs. Ball and a strike on Ramos. Lately, he's been the guy. 4 straight multi-hit games, but 0 for 2 tonight. Top 7 in the Giants order combined 1 for 18. Blake Trinan loosens for the Dodgers. Yamamoto's 88th pitch is a ground ball past Muncy down the left field line. Ramos headed for second with a leadoff double.
Shortstop, Willie Adames.
It's a good pitch. Gets a weakly hit ground ball. It's just hitting the right spot with some big hops. Even if Max gets it in his glove, I don't think he's throwing him out. But it is a single, an infield single instead of that double.
Brings up Willie Adames, who has driven in 5 runs the last 2 games. And he takes ball from Yamamoto. Adames, who signed the biggest contract in Giants history, and for a lot of his first year struggled mightily. You look up at the end of the year, though, he had 30 home runs, got his 30th on the final day of the season. It's a big deal because it made him the first Giant to have 30 home runs in a season since Barry Bonds did it 31 years prior to that. Adames now in his 9th year in the major leagues. 30 years old. He's gone from Tampa Bay to Milwaukee and now San Francisco. On this 1-1 from Yamamoto, he rips a line drive base hit into left that'll move Ramos up to third, and the Giants have him cornered with nobody out.
The Giants went through a lot of frustration of trying to sign the man, and they finally got a man.
First baseman, Bryce
They missed out on Ohtani. They missed out on Judge. A few others. They've had the money to spend and trying to sign superstars. The superstars just haven't chosen them in the long run.
And so it's made for a team that's been hard for the fan base to really wrap their arms around, because a lot of sort of nameless guys, pieces, but nothing more than that a lot of years. Eldridge with runners at the corners and nobody out takes a ball. And so Buster Posey, one of his goals in taking over baseball operations has been to give the town a team that they can embrace, where you're going to have guys in the lineup that you recognize. It's not going to be 7 platoons out of the 9 spots in the order. Eldridge lines one to second. That's caught by Kim. Big play right there by Hae-Sung Kim for the first out of the 7th.
First step quickness, and then a little bit of leaping ability and the eye-hand coordination to get it in the leather. Well done. Actually catches it behind himself to extend his range.
You know, on normal nights you wouldn't reach the end of the road when the 8-hitter was coming up, but this is not a normal night. And the way this Giants lineup has gotten to Yamamoto from this spot in the order. So Trinan's coming on with Harrison Bader and Eric Haas coming up. High with 8 strikeouts, but the 3 solo home runs have him behind at this point. And now the call to the bullpen is brought to you by Jacoby and Myers. Blake Trinan, who worked the 1-2-3 inning last night on just 9 pitches. And here it's a first and third 1-out situation. And is going to get a pinch hitter here. Drew Gilbert sent up the pinch hit for Harrison Bader.
Always a visit from Mark Pryor when the pinch hitter comes up, so they can go over this hitter a little bit more than what they did with Josh Bard in the bullpen as a possibility. With Blake, it rarely changes what he's going to throw. About 85% of the time he's going to throw his sinking fastball or his sweeper. To get people off of those two pitches, he also has a cutter and a four-seam fastball. But they're talking about hot and cold areas and what pitches to go to, maybe to get ahead or then to put him away with.
Harrison Bader hits a home run in El Bencho next time he comes up. So they go for the platoon advantage here with Gilbert as the pinch hitter with runners at first and third and one away. 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter so far this year. First one from Trinan is hacked foul. Gilbert, 25 years old. First round pick of the Houston Astros and was Tony Vitello's star outfielder at Tennessee. Traded to the Mets, then to the Giants. On this 0-1 from Trinan, shows bunt and takes low.
That had a little college flavor to it.
One sacrifice hit in his 3 years under Vitello at Tennessee. He's got one in parts of 2 seasons in the majors. Double from Elliot Ramos, single from Willy Adames. They're the runners at the corners here. Bunts it again, up along first. Freeman can't get it cleanly, and it's 4-2. Ramos in to score on a safety squeeze. 4-2 Giants.
So he pops up the bunt. It's got backspin. So now when Freddie goes to pick it up, it's actually stopped. And that makes it a little bit harder to stick your fingers into the ground and compared to having a ball roll into your hand and then you scoop it and push it to the catcher. So the fact that the bunt was a bad one, but it had backspin like a wedge, made it a lot harder play. If it's rolling forward, he gets it sooner and it's an easier grasp with your hand.
Gilbert gets a base hit for that. And it's 4-2 as Eric Haas takes a ball. Performance Spotlight sponsored by your Southern California Nissan dealers. Eric Haas with 2 home runs in this game. In just his 5th start for the Giants. Hadn't homered in more than a year. Part of that is because he had hardly played in more than a year. Chops this one foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. 8 and 9 spots have driven in all 4 runs in this game for San Francisco. Talk all about the big 3 needing to wake up as they start to, getting contributions from the far reaches of the lineup. One and 2.
Stay with a pitch like that. Something that strike zone, then ball. The guy has 2 home runs. He's got 2 great things in his pocket. He's going to want to still hit. He's not going to want to pass the baton.
Fly ball center field. Pages sprinting back onto the track at the wall. He's got it. Eric Haas that close to an unthinkable 3 home run game.
And the Dodger pitching staff has done it again. You get into a 2-strike count where you can put somebody away. They're aggressively swinging the bat. You throw something that looks like a strike and stays a strike. And that's a mistake they are glad to get away with.
You know, the bullpen had been one of the unheralded parts of this team going into last night. They've given up just 8 runs their previous 14 games combined and then gave up those 6 last night. As Lee comes up here with 2 on and 2 out. This is a similar setup this game to last night's game where it was 3-3 after 6 innings. Penn couldn't keep it close. Trying to keep it right here. Give the offense a chance against a Giants pen that has not been good. Lee, who's 0 for 3, swings and misses, and he's in an 0-2 hole and almost dug himself one. Into right center field. Tucker will not get there. A center cut fastball that Lee blasts to the wall. 2 more runs score, and it's 6-2.
Three losses in a row and being behind 6-2 in the top of the 7th. It's hard to stomach. It's even harder to stomach when it's here at Dodger Stadium. I mean, home field advantage, playing in front of sellout crowds, energy on your side, and the Giants are sucking it out of the building.
They're going to put a rise on intentionally, bring up Casey Schmidt at the righty-righty matchup. 5 of these runs charged to Yamamoto. Chopper. Kim gets there and throws him out, but the Giants get 3. 6-2 as we stand and stretch. Time for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Sit and Sleep. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Shakey's Pizza Parlor. Serving up handcrafted pizza, crispy fried chicken, and famous Mojo potatoes since 1954. Similar to last night, Giants exploding in the back half of the ball game. 2 in the 5th, 3 in the 7th, and it's 6-2 as Andy Pages leads off and pops up Joel Peguero's first pitch. Peguero on for his 4th appearance, part of this bullpen shakeup for San Francisco the last few days. Bottom of the Dodger lineup. Got a run in the 1st, got a run in the 3rd in this ball game.
There have been a lot of nights when the bottom of the Dodger order has been the catalyst. So far tonight, though, they are 0 for 9 with 4 Ks. They're going to need some action now, down 6-2 with 9 outs to go on offense.
Those 2 runs on just 3 hits. They don't have any hits, and so Ohtani's home run to lead off the 3rd. It almost hit him, and it did. Brian Walsh, home plate umpire, taking it out of Pages' hands, who's tapping his helmet. That's not the way to get a review to confirm that it hit you, but the point was well taken, Andy. Leadoff man is on, and Teoscar Hernandez comes up. By the way, several defensive changes. Drew Gilbert, after pinch hitting for Bader, stays in the game and plays center. Matt Chapman comes in at 3rd. That moves Schmidt over to 1st. So you can put Chapman and Eldridge's spot in the order. Vitella's out here asking for an explanation, wondering if it maybe hit Pages' bat.
It's really close. It is very close. Looks like it might have grazed his pinky of his left hand, not the bat.
So Pages on, Teoscar Hernandez up. Strike from Peguero.
You can chip away at this lead, but you got to chip quick. Get 1 or 2 this inning, make it a little tighter for the 8th and 9th.
Into shallow center field. Out goes Arise. And he's got it. He's taking those pop-ups in shallow center field tonight.
He really looks confident in the field for a guy who's just been pretty much buried as has no position, but a contact hitter that can be a spark plug at the top and a batting title winner and everything else. But he looks like he's a defender now.
Yeah, so much of why he was polarizing when looked at and trying to figure out how valuable he was is that he was very one-dimensional. The average was awesome, but it was only average. He didn't walk, didn't hit for power, didn't play defense. But you add exceptional defense at second base, suddenly this game starts to look a little more well-rounded. Kim's the hitter. He's down 0-1. And now 1-1. Kim's looking for his first hit of the homestand. He's 0 for 10. He struck out 6 times in those 10 at-bats. Ohtani waits on deck as Kim lifts the ball to right center field. Lee's on the run. He'll get there.
Well, Lee got a really good jump because when this left the bat, it looked like it could be in the gap. It ended up not being hit as hard as we thought it was when it was hit, but it looked like it might have started to build a rally.
Well, the one good thing to happen in this ball game has been what Shohei Ohtani has done. Singling in the first inning, homering in the third, walking in the 5th. Yeah, it looks like that is going to do it for Peguero. Vitello is going to go to a different pitcher for Ohtani. And we'll take a break as he does so. In the major leagues in 2 years. He missed a season with Tommy John surgery. He was working his way back from that, injured his knee, had to have surgery on his knee. Got his first opportunity over the weekend for the Giants. Faced a couple batters, walked one, retired the other. And now, so much for continued soft landing. He faces Shohei Ohtani in a 6-2 ball game.
For San Francisco, number 31, Sam Hentges.
Hentges 6'8", comes home to Ohtani and gets a fastball by him. You got to be tall to stand out there and make Ohtani look normal size.
Yeah, the center field shot is like, do not adjust your sets. Everything is fine here. Some big people.
Got a chase right there, 1-2. Remember they had Sean Jelly, who pitched for him the last few seasons, 6'11", righty. Franchise a High Pockets Kelly. Back when he played 6'4", earned him a nickname like that. Outside on Ohtani, count evens 2-2.
Because it's coming out of a long lever system, it looks harder than 94.
Fouls it off, stays alive.
He's got a real quick arm, and I'm sure he's getting down the hill pretty far, so he's probably got some good relative velocity coming at you.
Another 2-2 to Ohtani, got him to chase a curveball. And that does it for the Dodgers in the 7th. San Francisco, similar recipe to last night with a lot of scoring late. 2 in the 5th, 3 in the 7th. And to the top of the 8th we go. Edgardo Enriquez is on the pitch.
The potential is off the charts. He needs a little bit more strike throwing ability and also a little bit more command as far as putting people away. The 12 strikeouts in the 14 innings. With his stuff, he should be over a strikeout an inning.
Part of the order for the Giants, Rafael Devers, who is 1 for 3, takes ball 1. Top 2 teams in the National League started a series tonight in Atlanta, the Braves and the Cubs. And the Braves took the first game 5-2. Padres, who started the day with a half-game edge over the Dodgers in the division, have started a road trip through Milwaukee. And Seattle dropped the first game in Milwaukee 6-4. It's a red-hot Brewers team and a Padres team defying the odds, defying the data to have the record that they have. Their run differential's right dead even. Yet their first place team. Starting pitching not great. Bullpen awesome. Been the best part of the Padres. Offensively though, they're one of the worst teams in baseball. On base percentage as a team, San Diego below 300. Dodgers see the Padres for the first time this year down in San Diego next week. They wrap up this 4-game series. They play 3 with the Angels. And technically it's a long trip, with the first 3 games of those games in Anaheim, where they'll commute each day. The part where they actually hit the road truly, that's a tough trip. They're going to go at San Diego, at Milwaukee. 2-2 to Devers. Got him with a high fastball for the first out of the 8th. Third strikeout tonight for Devers.
Really nice, using the middle of the plate, little tailing action, and a lot of velocity up there.
Oh, 1 gone in the 8th inning brings up Elliot Ramos, who doubled and scored last inning. Ramos from a small town in the mountains in Puerto Rico, and he's one of 2 boys in his family that reached the major leagues from there. His older brother Henry played for the Diamondbacks and the Reds, now playing in Mexico. On the ground to second for Kim. Their other brother is the all-time leading goal scorer for the Puerto Rican national soccer team. Quite a family. 2 up and 2 down for Henriquez, and Willy Adames climbs in. Adames 1 for 3, singled and scored his last time. Sharply hit and through, his second hit. And it's back-to-back multi-hit games to open the series for Adames. There gets Matt Chapman to the plate. Off the bench tonight. Chapman 0 for 11 in his career with 7 strikeouts against Yamamoto, and he's been struggling all season, so a good spot for him to come off of the bench tonight and try to do his thing against the bullpen, and to get his great glove in there defensively to try and close out this game. Chapman, a local guy at El Toro High School, same place that produced Nolan Arenado. Went from undrafted there to first-round pick out of Cal State Fullerton a few years after that. Down 0-2.
You expect a guy like Chapman coming off the bench in a slump, not producing against a hard-throwing pitcher, to be swinging, and That's what he's done in the first 2 pitches. Slider low and away. Get it down.
There it was. Laid off, though.
Good pitch, though. Really good pitch. Pitches like that and these counts will lead to a lot of success. Easy to see the difference between the last 2 pitches. The first one looked like a really nice fastball away and then broke down and almost got the swing. That one was just a ball right out of hand.
Now a 2-2. Chapman pops it off the hands to Mookie Betts at short, and a scoreless 8th inning for Henriquez. I'll be sure to tune in after the game finishes for Access SportsNet Dodgers on a bit of a chilly night. The boys have the jackets on. Temperature dropped like 30 degrees from the start of yesterday to where we're sitting at tonight. 2, 3, and 4 for the Dodgers here in the 8th. Hentges misses with his first pitch to Mookie Betts. 1 for 8 in the first 2 games off of the injured list. I think anybody was looking at him as the savior to this whole thing. Still is nice to have him back in the lineup. Let everybody else fall a domino down into a little more comfortable spot. 3-0.
Dodgers need to get the leadoff hitter on. They need to get some people starting to reach base. Ever since 3 out of the first 4 reached base, they're 1 for 19 with 3 walks.
Yeah, the one hit was Ohtani's home run that led off the 3rd. Don't have anything since. There's 9 runs the last 4 games, and just 9 runs in 5 games against San Francisco. Foul ball. 3-2. It was the early innings against Atlanta putting them in holes, but in this series it's been the late innings that have finished them off and have really told the story. The Giants outscoring the Dodgers 11-1 from the 6th inning on.
Dodger relievers 7 earned runs on 8 hits in 5 2/3 innings in the series. So an ERA over 9 out of the pen.
Giants bullpen, meanwhile, has not given up a run. Another 3-2 coming home to Mookie Betts, and another pop-up. This one, though, is going to be playable. Casey Schmidt puts it away for the first out of the 8th.
First baseman, number 5, Freddie Freeman.
Single and a walk for Freddie Freeman today. Good pitching matchup tomorrow. Shohei Ohtani, who's got a sub-1 ERA, against Robbie Ray for the Giants. Ray, a 2.76 ERA, has always pitched well against the Dodgers, no matter where he's been. And it'll wrap up on Thursday. Emmett Sheehan for LA, Landon Root for San Francisco.
Both those guys you mentioned have electric stuff. Ray with his fastball slider combination, and Ohtani with almost everything that he throws. The score holds. The Dodgers are going to be looking to win the next 2 just to split the series here at home against the Giants.
Another 1-2 to Freeman.
He beat Chris Sale, and then all of a sudden it's been downhill since then. First game of the homestand.
Ties in a little bit to what we were talking about at the start of the game, where they have hit some of the better pitchers, but then tonight Adrian Hauser at a 6 ERA. Goes deeper than he typically does. Peter Lambert, what he did last week for Houston. Payoff. Misses for ball 4. Third time Freeman's reached base. And here comes Tucker.
Right field, number 23, Kyle Tucker.
Home run or reach base right here will put some energy into the Dodger clubhouse and into their bench. Still got some time. 5 outs is enough for a powerful lineup. Just got to break out.
There's a shot to right field, headed for the corner. It'll scoot by Lee and make its way to the wall. Freeman stopped at third on a double from Tucker. Second and third, one away.
You hope for it, and then when you get it, now you got to capitalize. Inside fastball, turns on it. Swing looks long, but it's quick when he has to turn.
First hit for the Dodgers since Ohtani's home run in the third. Second and third for Will Smith. Sacrifice fly in the first inning got the Dodgers their first run of the night. Ball 1.
We've seen the ball in center field come to die and not leave here. We're at 58 degrees now. Home run, you're probably going to need to pull it.
Well, nobody does that as well as Will Smith. He's ahead 2-0.
Looking for something middle in right here. Keyhole in it to see if he can launch one.
Smith takes strike 1.
Little too far away for his liking.
That's what pitchers like to live against Will Smith. Keep him from doing what you're talking about needing to do to get a ball out of here. Pulling it. Breaks inside and he's ahead 3-1. Saw the closer Killian getting ready. And the bullpen of vulnerability for the Giants, as good as they've been in this series, not typically how they are. On a 3-1 pitch, Smith takes ball 4. Bases are loaded and the tying run is coming up. In the form of Max Muncy.
Number 13, Max Muncy.
Last at bat, got it to a 3-2 count with a chance to make this game closer. Struck out on a slider low and away that was off the plate. He showed that he wanted to hit. He got something that looked like a strike, ended up a ball, and ended up chasing it. Right here, it's good that that was the first look at this guy, and now you're getting a second look at him. So Max will have a lot higher education in this at bat.
Sam Hentges in just his second major league appearance the last 2 years. Finds himself in some trouble. A walk, a double, another walk. And the base is loaded for the guy who's third in the National League with 11 home runs this year. 8 grand slams in his career. Only Gil Hodges with more in Dodger history.
In general, if he's sitting on the fastball, he can hit that and the hanging breaking ball. If he's on the fastball and he's hits it for a breaking ball for a ball, it's probably going to be a swing and miss. Knowing Max, he's sitting on something middle in and looking for a hanger also.
Spinner away, ball one.
Good take.
Ooh, outside corner, 1-1.
Still a good take, even though it's called for a strike.
On a 1-1 pitch, Muncy swings and misses. Strike two. Andy Pages on deck. Chances are that it'll be Caleb Killian. Giant killer throughout his career. Homered against him yesterday. He's homered in the last 2 games. On this 1-2, climbs the ladder to stay alive. A heavy dose of breaking stuff. Lefty on lefty. Henches to Muncy.
You got the hanger right there, but just overhung.
Dodgers looking for that spark. Muncy takes strike 3. 2 out.
They locked him up. They lulled him asleep with all the breaking balls, and then they threw one that, if that's a breaking ball, it's a ball. You might have wanted to use your challenge.
Well, hard to think of a higher leverage spot when that is the criteria for when to use it. Muncy chooses not to. Still 2 in the bank for the Dodgers. And that's going to do it for Henches. It'll be up to Andy Pages as Killian comes on with 2 gone in the 8th. Giants 6, Dodgers 2, but the Dodgers have the bases loaded here with 2 gone in the 8th inning. Andy Pages, the hitter, and Caleb Killian, who has come out of the middle of nowhere to turn into one of the top arms in that bullpen, is on to face him.
For the Dodgers, center fielder, number 44, Andy Pages.
Killian parts of 3 years as a starter with the Chicago Cubs. He had a 9 ERA all of last year in the minors. He's come back here, reemerged with San Francisco, firing out of the bullpen. First one to Pages is fouled straight back. He's in the low 90s when he was a starter, but 96, 97 out of the pen. Now with Ryan Walker now down in AAA, there's a chance that you're looking at the new Giants closer here in Killian. Here's his 0-1 pitch. Pages takes low, ball 1. As good as Killian has been overall, 3 of the last 4 times out, he's given up a run. And as he falls behind, it's worth mentioning he's walked 4 in his last 2 innings.
Andy Pages has been special with runners in scoring position. The Dodgers are going to need that help. They're 0 for 2 tonight with runners in scoring position with just a sac fly.
Loaded him up here with a pair of walks and a double. On a 2-1, Pages grounds it foul, 2-2.
Now, Giants ahead on the scoreboard 6-2. They're ahead with runners in scoring position. They are 3 for 6, Joe.
Bullpens and clutch hitting, the difference in this series so far. 2-2 pitch. Pages pokes it foul.
It's a good foul ball for Andy. That was a fastball, and he was late on it. That means he will be on time on a breaking ball.
That's what he's done the bulk of his damage. Another 2-2 pitch from Caleb Killian. Pages Paez ropes it to left field. Ramos is there, and that's the inning. Dodgers leave him loaded. So the best ERA in the major leagues. That includes 5 or 6 scoreless innings against the Giants when he faced him a few weeks ago. Can feel good about his night at the plate tonight, hitting a home run, reaching base 3 times, and springboard him into that start tomorrow. To the top of the 9th inning, Jack Dreyer's on to pitch. Scoreless inning in last night's game. They'll face the bottom of the order right here, 8-9-1 coming up for San Francisco. Strike 1 on Drew Gilbert. Last night's appearance was the 8th straight scoreless one for Dreyer. Who's promptly ahead 0-2.
Love the way he throws the ball. So consistent with his posture and his setup. So consistent with his first moves, and then as he goes down the hill. For a young pitcher, he really understood early on who he was and what he needed to do to be successful here.
Got him to chase that high fastball. 1 away in the 9th.
Just like hitters, sometimes you'll take it when you make a mistake, and could have been ball 4, but we'll take the strikeout.
10th of the game for Dodger pitching, and here's Eric Haas, the surprise star of this ball game. 2 home runs out of the 9 spot, and he's done something that Buster Posey never did, done something that no Giants catcher has ever done. That is hit 2 home runs in a game at Dodger Stadium. Haas has played 100 games in a season just 1 time in his career. It was with the Tigers 4 years ago. Last 2 years he was in Milwaukee and played 30 games a season. 2 homers in those 30 games last year, 2 of them tonight. Almost had a third his last time. Andy Paez had to catch it right up against the wall and straightaway center.
If it's a month later, that's out because it's warmer. We're below 60 degrees right now. Hard to compress the ball, but he almost got enough of it.
Dreyer strikes out the first 2.
Chase on the first batter. Chase here on a back foot slider. Really good pitch.
Jung-Hoo Lee, 2-run double his last time. 1 for 5 yesterday, 1 for 4 tonight. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, it's Tasker Hernandez, Ha-Seong Kim, and then back to the top in Ohtani. Man, it would have been nice to cash in at least something in that bases loaded 1-out situation last inning.
I was reviewing in my head if Muncy would have challenged that last pitch to him and how the inning might have unfolded differently. How Paez was right on that breaking ball, just happened to hit it at the left fielder. If that's in the gap or down the line, things are different. It's just so close to turning the game just in those 2 at-bats. Fouled off a fastball down the right field line to say that he's on time. He gets the breaking ball in the next pitch. It's kind of up. Hits it hard, but pretty much right at him. The baseball probabilities that you play every night. I mean, your whole job is to put yourself in a situation where you win more than you lose. But you can make the best pitch and give up a blooper, but you still got to keep making the best pitch and give up the blooper, because a lot of times it's going to be caught. Sometimes it'll fall in. You got to judge yourself on execution, not on results.
The 2-2 to Lee. Slaps this one to short. Betts circles around it. Can't pull the trigger, though.
Perfect example of judging yourself on execution over results. Dreyer executes a really good piece. The pitch is great. It's down. It's going to end up in the dirt. He throws the bat at it, and he ends up to being one of the fastest Giants. It's hit slightly away from Mookie Betts, running away from first, and you just can't get him.
Inning kept alive for Luis Arise. We're hitless night to this point for Arise, and he pokes first pitch foul. Lofts this one to center field for Pages. Scoreless ninth for Dreyer. To the bottom half we go. Last chance for the Dodgers. To the bottom of the ninth we go. Similar story to last night with the late offense from the Giants. 6 runs on 10 hits. San Francisco, the worst offense in baseball, has now scored 22 runs the last 3 games. Caleb Killian, who came on to get the last out of the 8th, get out of that bases loaded situation. We look for the last 3 outs with Hernandez, Kim, and Ohtani coming up. We're talking about those missed opportunities with the bases loaded in this game. The Dodgers on the season are, with the bases loaded now, 5 for 27. Strike one on Hernandez. 0 for 3 after he reached 3 times in the first game. Oh, and 2. Killian makes quick work of him and might as well use it.
Batter's challenging the strike ball.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. And it was a strike. 1 gone in the 9th.
Call is confirmed. The batter's out. Los Angeles has 1 challenge remaining.
If it's a good slider, it probably was a ball in Teo's mind, but that one had slider spin and just kind of hung there, and it stayed in the strike zone.
6 through 9 in the Dodger lineup. 0 for 14, 6 Ks. This is not very fun right now.
No, it's not, and especially when you're at home. Kim's got a great example in this series with Arise, to watch how and who he is on a team and what he could be. It would all be about contact, knowledge of the strike zone. Got a guy that could win batting titles, and Kim's got a better shot at being an elite fielder than Arise.
Killian's got it. Dodgers down to their last out. Tomorrow night's starting pitcher and Shohei Ohtani. who was tonight's best offensive performer for the team. Singleton scored in the first inning, had that solo shot in the third. We'll see if he's in there as a hitter tomorrow against Robbie Ray. You figure there's a good chance after momentum of tonight that he would be in there tomorrow. Dave Roberts has said he'll be off for sure on Thursday, the day after his start.
In the history of the game, of course, pitchers did hit, right? And you pitch and you can go 9 innings and you get 4 at bats, and the next day is a recovery day. And I think that's the best day for him to get a full day off. I don't think a half day off on the night that he pitches is enough rest. I think you physically can do it, the at bats and the pitching. But you definitely need, if you're going to give him a rest, the next day.
Sharply hit, diving stop by Luis Arise to end this ball game. Giants 6, Dodgers 2. Giants hand the Dodgers a 4th consecutive defeat while they get their 4th win out of their last 5.
Enough is enough. That's what the Dodger attitude needs to be. Tomorrow it needs to start again.
For Hershiser, Kirsten Watson, Ice Cube, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium after this 6-2 Giants win. Access SportsNet Dodgers is next. We'll talk to you again tomorrow night.